going on, dudes and dudettes? So this might be a separate video as well, going up Saturday just because of how much stuff that happened on Thursday and wasn't able to do a quick reaction right away, but I'm gonna get this video out now. Today you'll probably see a video of like more Chargers and Duke stuff a little bit later, or a little bit before this because this come out in the future. But let's get into what happened yesterday. So yes, Duke football did play, as I mentioned in the last video, against Wake Forest last night, and it's a pretty big battle going back and forth. And yes, luckily Duke did get that late second field goal victory on that game winner, which was nice. And you know, they were missing 8 starters. I believe Riley Leonard didn't even play. They were playing their third string quarterback, who did okay but not great, obviously. But yeah, they got the victory, which is always nice to see, and they're officially bowl eligible. And I think this is the second Duke head coach in their history that has gotten them back-to-back bowl games being bowl eligible, which is pretty cool. Obviously, Mike Elko is doing great stuff. It just sucks because he's probably going to be poached and get paid a lot more to go to a better or more popular school than Duke is at football, but just hoping that that does not happen right away. But we also did find out too that Riley Leonard is most likely to be out for an extended period of time. Don't know exactly or how long that's going to be, but yeah, that does suck. But at least he started off with a victory after hearing that news or knowing of that, and heading off in the right direction towards the rest of the season, which should be a little bit easier compared to all the other teams you have been playing recently. So either way, definitely looking forward to that. I believe ESPN recently did their top 100 players in the NBA, and quite a few Duke players are in that top 100, which is pretty cool. Obviously, you got to start off with Jason Tatum at number 6, Brandon Ingram at number 27, Paolo Banchero number 30, Kyrie Irving at 34, Zion Williamson at 57, and RJ Barrett at 71. And they did also put up a thing on X that over this next season, I believe, all the Duke players combined with their contracts are going to be making like around $298 million, which is pretty crazy because they even added up the next 4 schools after them, their players combined in the ACC of what they've been doing in the NBA, and it still exceeds that amount, which is obviously crazy because everybody for a while there was always going after North Carolina guys, and then they always never ended up getting that big second contract and, you know, being worth it as players in the NBA and playing long. So it's obvious who's a better school in the NBA, not only in my opinion, but the NBA's opinion as well, always having Duke players on their rosters because they know it's beneficial and where they come from, and they definitely help them out. So yes, congrats to all those guys. And speaking of Paolo Banchero, the second-year player out of Duke for the Orlando Magic, yes, he did have a game winner last night as well, and he put up a nice stat line also. 30 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, which was awesome. Definitely makes it a lot better when you got that game-winning shot as well. But yeah, he's playing a lot better. They recently lost to the Lakers when they were playing out here in LA, and I believe the Lakers are on a mini road trip and they have to play the Florida team, so they'll will most likely be playing Orlando coming up pretty soon, so definitely be fun to check out that game. Hopefully Lakers come out with a victory, but yeah, definitely hoping that Paolo Banchero does have a good game. Even Wendell Carter Jr., the other ex-Duke player on the Magic team, does well also, so looking forward to that. And then a 5-star center, Patrick Mbonga, I believe that's how you say the last name. Recently, I think he's going to be committing November 4th, which is tomorrow on Saturday, or today, depending if you watch it. But yeah, I believe recently like 5 different analysts or people for 247 Sports recently put in a crystal ball in for him selecting Duke. So that's obviously some pretty good stuff. I think it was like Kansas State and Kentucky were his final other 2. So I don't know, it could be another big win for a future player in 2024 for Coach John Shire, but you never know, he could end up choosing somewhere else if somebody ends up giving him more money. But if he definitely wants to win, he knows exactly where to choose, so hoping he does become a Blue Devil today on Saturday. And USC put up on their X account that Zachariah Branch is the first Pac-12 player since Christian McCaffrey, who played up at Stanford when he was in college, to have a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, a kick return touchdown, and a punt return touchdown, all in the same season. I think he might be able to beat him if he throws the ball, because that counts as another way to as a touchdown. I don't think anything else. Maybe a scoop and score if there's a fumble, but that still might count as a rushing touchdown either way. But it's just another way he could get it. That's why the last video I talked about how dynamic he was and was a finalist for that Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year award in college, obviously in his first season. But yeah, as long as he continues, and hopefully he does have a big game to help out Caleb Williams and the Trojans today against Washington, because they definitely need it against the number 5 team, that I think he'll be doing pretty good later in the year, collecting a lot of awards for himself for his pretty stellar freshman season. So definitely looking forward to that. And there is a Texas A&M commitment. I forget if he's a 4 or 5-star player. I believe he's an edge, Gabriel Relaford, which I think I recently talked about him because USC did offer him, but it was kind of weird because he was a Texas A&M commit, but there's a lot of stuff happening with that program, so I guess that's why they felt they could poach him away with signing day coming up next month. But yeah, they're trying to see if they could flip him. Not bad to always add talent, especially if you're taking him away from other schools technically, but yeah, they definitely need all the help, especially if he is on the defensive side, to help them out, because I forget which one, because they just said that if they were going to persuade him to come, they didn't really say his position. So either way, I'll find that out in a future date if it does end up happening or not. But yes, hoping for the best. And then USC basketball did name their team captains right before the season starts next week, and it was Boogie Ellis, the super senior, and Kobe Johnson, who I believe is a junior. Could be wrong, but he's most likely a junior. So yeah, they're definitely some of the better guys on the team, especially at that guard position, and they will be the leaders of the team. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they can bring to the table for my USC Trojans. And the Big Ten released yesterday, of course, right after I recorded that video, the USC's, pretty much everybody's 2024 Big Ten schedule, because they did a big release a couple months ago, but they had to redo it after they added the teams of Oregon and Washington. So yeah, it just got all jumbled up, but it looks like it's going to be a tough game almost every week, especially starting in 2024, because I'll get into who they start off with, but yeah, their first Big Ten game is going to be away on the road at Michigan, so it's already starting off pretty crazily. Then at home the next week, they get Wisconsin. It's kind of weird because it's home and away, home and away. It's kind of weird how they did it for USC, and not a lot of the other schools have that type of schedule, but of course USC does. After Wisconsin at home, they go away to Minnesota, then back home to Penn State, away to Maryland. Next week is home at Rutgers, which is nice. You don't have to travel all the way to Jersey. Then away to Washington, still on the West Coast, and at home against Nebraska. And then you finish off with UCLA away, technically, because in Pasadena, whatever, but still luckily on the West Coast, so that helps out. But yeah, just seems pretty crazy. I don't know how you don't allow a team to lose like even 2 to 3 games in this conference and not be eligible for the playoff. Obviously, it helps that the playoff is going to 12 teams total now, starting next year, so USC won't have to worry about losing a game or two, and a lot of those other teams in the Big Ten won't have to worry about that either. But as long as they still get in, that's all that matters, because they are definitely playing a way tougher strength of schedule than a lot of the other places are right now, in my opinion. But SEC does add Texas and Oklahoma next year as well, so that it could just be a bunch of Big Ten and SEC schools in the Final 12. That's probably what it should be as of right now, but I think they still have to get the conference winners like the ACC and the Big 12 and all that stuff. But we'll see about that when it comes around. But yeah, even at the beginning of the season next year, they play on the road in Vegas against LSU, who's going to be most likely a top 10, top 15 team at the time. Then they come back at home real quick to play Utah State, so that should be an easier victory. But then they just finished the end of the season against Notre Dame, their main rival, at home. So, of course, that's gonna help and be crazy. But yeah, like I said, hopefully they just try their best and try to win as many as they can, because they shouldn't be faulted for playing such a tough schedule anymore, because they don't really have the choice of deciding who they play. But yeah, hoping to get some future other teams, because they were able to do that prior a couple months ago, to go multiple years into the future of their opponents. But now for some reason it's only the first year, so hopefully we'll get more news about that coming up. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that. So yeah, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Good luck to the USC. They're definitely going to need it tonight. Primetime game against Washington, number 5 in the country. Duke already got their victory. Hopefully the Lakers keep on winning. Same thing with the Anaheim Ducks. They've been on a little bit of a win streak, which is nice. And then the Chargers, of course, end the football weekend sort of on Monday Night Football at the New York Jets. So we'll see how that slugfest goes. Like I said, thanks for watching. Fight on.